Legal AI and large language models are revolutionizing the patent industry, streamlining drafting, improving searches, and challenging traditional workflows. These tools promise to save time and increase precision, but they also raise important questions about their impact on professionals and the future of intellectual property. What opportunities do they bring, and what challenges lie ahead? Let's dive in. Welcome to this episode of Legal Tech with AlphaLect.
Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at something that's really changing the world as we speak.
Yeah.
And that is the intersection of AI and patents.
It's a big one.
It is a big one. And we're going to be talking about everything from, how this impacts big companies and inventors,
Right.
to how it even impacts just, the everyday consumer of technology.
Yeah, what's so fascinating about this topic is that it really does touch everyone in some way. Whether you're a business owner trying to protect your ideas,
Right.
or just someone who, uses the latest gadgets, understanding AI's role in this whole patent world is becoming crucial.
Absolutely. And, when we talk about AI transforming patents,
Yeah.
what does that actually look like? Like, how is this playing out in the real world?
Well, imagine this. You've got this brilliant idea for a new invention,
Okay.
right? You need to make sure nobody else has already done it. In the past, that meant sifting through tons and tons of patents, which could take forever.
Oh, yeah.
But now, AI can kind of act like this super researcher. It can compare your idea to millions of existing patents in a fraction of the time.
So let's say I come up with, a revolutionary new design for like noise-canceling headphones.
Right.
AI could tell me instantly if that's actually a new idea and if it's worth patenting. That's wild.
And that's really just the tip of the iceberg. What we're seeing is AI streamlining that whole patent process, making it faster, more efficient, and potentially even more accurate.
Okay, so that's incredible, but what about the actual writing of a patent?
Right.
I always thought that was like incredibly complex. You need to understand all this legal language.
Oh, absolutely.
Can AI actually handle that?
This is where it gets really interesting. We're talking about these things called large language models, or LLMs, and these can actually draft really high quality patent applications.
So you're saying AI is actually writing these patents. It's not just, copying and pasting legal jargon.
It's not just copying and pasting. LLMs are trained on these massive data sets of patent literature and legal documents. So they learn the structure, the language, the whole legal framework. They're generating new text based on what they've learned.
So they're basically like AI patent lawyers.
In a way, yes. It's pretty mind-blowing, but it does raise the question, does this mean actual patent lawyers are going to go extinct?
Right. What happens to them?
It's not quite that dramatic. It's more of a partnership. These LLMs become powerful tools that lawyers can use. Patent law is nuanced. There are strategic decisions, ethical considerations that AI can't handle on its own.
So it's not just about knowing the law anymore. It's about knowing how to use AI effectively.
Exactly. The role of a patent lawyer is changing. It's becoming more about strategy, legal counsel, and less about those tedious, repetitive tasks.
So are we going to see like a new breed of AI whisperer lawyers?
Absolutely. Attorneys are going to need to understand how to use these tools and interpret what they produce and make sure it aligns with what their clients want.
This could be huge for, smaller inventors or startups who maybe couldn't afford a big fancy legal team before.
Right.
If AI makes legal services more affordable and accessible, could that lead to even more innovation?
It's definitely a possibility. Democratizing access to patent protection could empower a whole new generation of inventors.
Yeah.
And lead to a wave of new ideas and new technologies.
That's amazing. But, let's not forget about all the legal battles that happen around patents.
Oh, absolutely.
What happens when these AI-generated patents end up in court?
That's a really crucial question, and honestly one that legal experts are still trying to figure out. AI is adding a whole new layer of complexity to a system that's already really complex.
So we're talking high-stakes litigation, millions of dollars on the line.
Right.
And now we're throwing AI into the mix. This sounds like the plot of a legal thriller.
It kind of is.
Can you give us an example of how this might play out? How would AI actually be used in a patent lawsuit?
Imagine this. An AI system analyzes thousands of legal precedents. and finds a weakness in a patent that everyone thought was rock solid
Oh, wow.
that could potentially save a company millions
Yeah.
or help a smaller company defend itself against a bigger rival.
I mean, that's incredible.
It is.
But it also kind of makes me nervous. What about the possibility of bias? Could AI be swayed by, the data it was trained on?
You're hitting on a really important point. AI is only as good as the data it learns from. If that data is biased, the AI's output will be biased too.
So human oversight is still crucial.
Absolutely.
It seems like we're in this really interesting transition period.
Yeah.
Where AI is revolutionizing the legal field,
Right.
but human expertise is more important than ever.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's all about finding the right balance, leveraging AI's power, but making sure it's used responsibly and ethically.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, this whole field is just exploding with new possibilities. Okay, so we've talked about AI doing things like streamlining searches and even drafting patents.
Yeah.
But can we see this in action? Like, are there real-world examples of how this is actually playing out?
Absolutely. One area where we're seeing a ton of activity is in these AI-powered patent drafting tools.
Okay.
These platforms are really helping inventors and attorneys create patent applications much more efficiently and accurately.
So this sounds super helpful. Can you walk me through like how this would work? Let's say I'm an inventor and I have this brilliant idea for a new type of, a self-folding laundry basket.
Okay.
How would AI help me get that patented?
All right, so picture this. You take all the details about your invention, all those technical specs drawings, even your own description of how this amazing laundry basket works,
Okay.
and you input it all into this AI tool.
And then poof, it just spits out a perfect patent application ready to go.
Well, not quite magic, but it's pretty close. The AI uses its knowledge of patent law and natural language processing to put together a draft application with all the required sections.
Yeah.
From the detailed description to the claims.
That's pretty impressive, but I imagine you'd still need a patent attorney to like double check everything.
Oh, absolutely. The AI is a tool. It's not a replacement for human expertise.
Right.
A patent attorney would still need to review the draft, make sure it's accurate, and that it meets all the legal requirements.
Okay, so it's more like assisting the attorney than replacing them.
Exactly.
That makes sense. What about in patent litigation? I know we talked about AI's role in prior art searches, but are there other ways it's being used?
Definitely. Think about all the data involved in a patent lawsuit.
Oh, it's a ton.
Legal precedents, technical documents, expert testimony. It's massive. AI can analyze all of that so much faster and more thoroughly than any human team could.
Wow.
And potentially uncover key insights that could really make or break a case.
So it's like having an army of legal researchers working for you?
Pretty much.
That must be changing the game for law firms.
It really is. But of course, as with any powerful technology, there are challenges too. Right.
We need to make sure the AI is trained on data that's not biased and that its output is reviewed by actual humans.
Right. We don't want AI making legal decisions all on its own, at least not yet. This brings up some really interesting questions about the future of the legal profession.
Definitely. Will we see lawyers taking on more specialized roles? Focusing more on the strategy and leaving the routine tasks to AI?
Yeah.
It's hard to say for sure, but the possibilities are really exciting.
It's like we're on the verge of this whole new era in patent law.
I think so.
Where technology and human expertise have to work together.
Exactly.
And it's not just about being faster or more efficient either. AI is changing how we even think about innovation and intellectual property.
Well, think about this. If AI can actually generate inventions that are patentable, who is the inventor?
That's a good question.
Is it the AI itself?
I don't know. The person who programmed it, the person who used the tool. These are the kinds of questions that are going to challenge our traditional ideas about inventorship and what it means to be creative.
Yeah, those are some trick questions. It seems like AI is forcing us to rethink some really fundamental concepts about what it means to invent and who owns those inventions.
Absolutely. And as AI continues to evolve, these questions are only going to become more and more complex.
Okay, so we've covered how AI is changing how patents are searched, drafted, and even litigated. But what about managing those patents once they're actually granted?
Oh, yeah. That's a whole other area where AI can have a huge impact.
It seems like it.
Imagine managing a massive patent portfolio.
I can only imagine.
It can be a logistical nightmare. You have to keep track of renewal deadlines, assess the value of each patent, look for licensing opportunities, and watch out for potential infringement.
Yeah, that's a lot to keep track of.
It is, even for the most experienced IP professionals.
So how is AI helping with all of that?
We'll imagine an AI system that can analyze your whole portfolio and tell you which patents are most likely to be valuable in the future,
Oh, wow.
based on things like technology trends, market demand, and the competitive landscape.
So it's like having an AI consultant for your IP strategy.
Exactly. And that's just one example.
Wow.
AI-powered tools can also automate all those routine tasks that come with managing a portfolio,
Like what?
like tracking deadlines and monitoring for infringement.
That's incredible. It sounds like AI is not just changing how patents are obtained and enforced, but how they're actually managed and used for business success.
I think that's a really great way to put it. It's a truly transformative technology with the potential to impact every single stage of a patent's life cycle.
I feel like we could talk about this for hours.
Yeah.
There's so much to unpack.
It really is a rapidly developing area, and who knows what the patent landscape will look like even just a few years from now.
It's true. I mean, AI is evolving so fast.
Yeah, and what's so exciting is that it's not just about, making things faster or more efficient. AI has the potential to really change how we think about invention and intellectual property at a fundamental level.
That's what's so fascinating to me. We've talked about how AI is changing like the mechanics of patents, but what about the bigger picture? How is this impacting innovation itself?
Well, think about it this way. AI is making it easier and more affordable for regular people and small businesses to navigate that whole patent process.
Right.
And that could lead to, what some people call a democratization of innovation.
Oh, wow.
Where great ideas can come from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And they can be protected and they can be brought to market.
So we could see like a surge in creativity and new inventions, all thanks to AI kind of leveling the playing field.
It's definitely possible. And it's not just about the quantity of inventions, it's about the quality, too.
Oh, how so?
AI tools can help inventors refine their ideas, figure out potential problems, and even, predict if an invention will be commercially successful before they spend a ton of time and money.
That's amazing. It's like having an AI mentor guiding you through the whole process.
Exactly. But of course, as with any new technology, there are potential downsides too.
Right.
What are some of the challenges or concerns that we need to be thinking about as AI becomes more and more integrated into the world of patents?
Yeah. What are those potential pitfalls?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is making sure that AI is used ethically and responsibly.
Okay.
We need to be really careful about potential biases in the data that these AI systems are trained on, and we have to make sure that humans are still involved in the process.
Yeah, we don't want to just hand over all the decision-making power to AI when it comes to something as important as patents.
Exactly. And we also need to think about the impact on jobs and the economy.
Right.
As AI automates certain tasks, some jobs will likely be lost. But at the same time, new jobs will be created requiring new skills and expertise.
So it's not just about AI replacing humans, it's about humans and AI figuring out how to work together in new ways.
Absolutely. The key is to be adaptable and to evolve, to embrace the opportunities that AI offers, while also, being aware of the risks.
This has been an amazing deep dive.
It has been fun.
I feel like I have learned so much about how AI is impacting the world of patents, from the little details to the big picture implications for innovation and even society as a whole.
Me too. It's a topic that I'm really passionate about, and I appreciate the chance to share some of what I've learned.
Well, I know our listeners are going to appreciate your expertise and your insights on this really complex topic. And as we wrap up, I want to encourage everyone listening to keep learning about this intersection of AI and patents.
Yeah.
It's a journey that's full of surprises and possibilities.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time for another plunge into the depths of knowledge.